الحمد لله المتفضل بنعمة الإيجاد والإمداد والإسعاد والهادي لعباده إلى سبيل الرشاد والموافق لهم في كل شأن إلى سلوك نهج السداد وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له شهادة من أخذها بيقين فهو في ازدياد وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله سيد السادة الأمجاد اللهم بارك وصل وسلم عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم البأس والمعاد. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم وصل عليه صلاة وسلام عليك سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك سيدي يا حبيب الله. All praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Creator, the Master and the Sustainer of the universe, and may countless salutations and incalculable salawat be upon the best of the creation, the leader of all messengers, our beloved Master Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our gathering here tonight and allow us all to live a life that earns His pleasure and the pleasure of His Messenger sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. So take this opportunity to remind us all of this extremely necessary belief of Muslims, which is the belief in the finality of the prophethood of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. I was given a topic which is to talk about the impact that the youth can have, the responsibility of the youth, and the role and responsibility of the youth of the Ummah in regards to this belief of Muslims. So as we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clearly mentioned in Al-Quran Al-Kareem that Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam is the seal of the prophets, is the last of the prophets. So what that means is that there is not going to be any other source of guidance for mankind until the day of Qiyamah. And for us to live a life that attains us salvation, that makes us successful in this dunya and in the akhirah, the Quran is the only way. The Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam is the only way. And this is that our deen is complete, our deen is universal, and our deen is timeless. Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, this is one of the specialities of our noble Messenger sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, that Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam said, I have been sent to all mankind. So the message of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam knows no limitations, knows no bounds. And as the chain of the prophets and messengers has ended, now what role does an ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam have to play when it comes to the propagation of this deen? We understand that this is the responsibility of the youngsters today, that they take up this responsibility of the propagation of the message of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. Learn the deen, be educated in the deen, because we already have a complete guidance in the form of the Quran. There is not going to be any more revelation sent to be any individual, because this door has now closed. So what we need to lead a life that earns the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger Allah ta'ala alayhi wasallam, with which we can succeed. We already have that source of guidance. All we need to do is struggle in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, struggle to obtain that knowledge and fulfill this responsibility of being an inheritor of the prophets and messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who are those? They are those people who obtain the knowledge of the deen. So to be an inheritor is, you can say, an amazing and a great distinction and a great, you can say, a role and responsibility that is on the shoulders of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that today Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala wasallam, through Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala, al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum, that I have now completed the deen for you. I have completed my favors upon you, and I've chosen the deen of Islam as your deen, as your religion for you. So for us as the nation of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, we look to no one for guidance except Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. Whosoever deviates from the path of Rasulullah, from the sunnah and the way of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, we do not look up to him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us all, the youngsters of the ummah, to actually make this effort ourselves. We should not sit back. Okay, the masjid in my community does not have this facility. Do I not know how to drive a car? Do I not have enough money to put fuel in my car and drive a couple of miles away to learn the deen? Or do I not have access to internet? I spend days and nights on internet scrolling. Do I not have enough time to make enough time, to have enough time? Or are there no options available? There are options available. We have time, we have the ability, we have the strength, we know how to drive cars, we know how to travel. So we have no excuse when it comes to learning the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allow us all to fulfill this responsibility and make us amongst those people who have this role and who play this part in the propagation of the deen of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala.